It's almost ironic. People have admitted they were actually afraid of Kendall Jenner. Even her own sister Kylie once called her the biggest bully in her life. What makes this more striking is that Kendall seemed to choose that role, as if the attention and dominance were something she wanted. On television, Kendall was framed as the down-to-earth Kardashian, calm, relatable, and the one who distanced herself from fame by working hard to build her own career. But behind the cameras, an entirely different story was unfolding. Accounts from staff and eyewitnesses show her belittling employees, tossing money in their faces, and even forcing diners out of restaurants just so she could eat alone. That air of superiority appears rooted in her privileged rise as a Nepo baby. After all, when everything in life has been handed to you, it becomes easy to look down on those who actually have to earn it. This is the story of how Kendall Jenner, despite putting in little effort, constantly acting disinterested, and barely trying, still managed to become the highest-paid supermodel in the world. And along the way, her reputation for being rude and dismissive has only grown stronger. Before diving into her modeling career, it's important to see how the mean girl image first emerged. Kendall's polished TV persona was never the full picture, and leaked moments from behind the scenes reveal much darker undertones. One of the earliest red flags came from within her own family. Jordyn Woods, Kylie's former best friend, admitted she was genuinely afraid of Kendall because of the way she treated Kylie. Even Kylie herself has confronted her, bluntly saying, "You've been my biggest bully for years." Kendall's habit of mocking her siblings, especially Kylie, has been well documented. From making sly remarks about Kylie's lips and cosmetic procedures, to minimizing her booming beauty business with dismissive comments like, "I'm not really into makeup like you are," Kendall often undermined her sister's achievements while ignoring her own reliance on cosmetic work. Kendall's entitled behavior didn't stop at home. It spilled out into her interactions with almost everyone around her. In one interview with People magazine, Kendall even admitted, half-jokingly, "Our family makeup artists are scared of me sometimes." The fact that she could say this so casually spoke volumes, and it wasn't just stylists who felt her arrogance. A TikTok user, who claimed to cross paths with Kendall often at restaurants and exclusive events in Los Angeles, described the difference between celebrities who try to keep a low profile and those who thrive on making life harder for everyone else. According to her, Kendall fell firmly into the latter group. One of the most shocking accounts came from a nightclub incident. At a friend's birthday celebration, a group had purchased a table near the DJ booth. But when Kendall arrived, she allegedly decided the spot was rightfully hers. Without hesitation, the paying customers were pushed out so she could claim it for herself. This sense of entitlement extends far beyond the social scene. On The Ellen DeGeneres Show, Kendall once bragged about the number of speeding tickets she had racked up, while laughing about how she always got out of them simply by dropping her last name. Rules, it seemed, were for other people. And when reminded that they did apply to her, Kendall didn't take it lightly. At the prestigious Met Gala, she was caught on video stepping over a rope at the entrance rather than waiting in line like everyone else. A museum employee immediately reprimanded her, but Kendall acted unfazed, as though the rules were beneath her. Then came one of the earliest viral scandals in 2014. A restaurant server claimed that Kendall and Hailey Bieber walked out without paying after being refused alcohol because they were underage. When confronted outside, Kendall allegedly tossed a handful of $20 bills at the server before walking away, laughing. Other restaurant workers have since echoed similar experiences, painting a consistent picture of someone who treats service staff with little more than disdain. Even in seemingly small public moments, Kendall's disdain often seeps through. At a Brooklyn spot called Baby's All Right, staff shared a photo of her receipt to call out the fact that she left no tip. In casual clips, her impatience is unmistakable, rolling her eyes right after taking a photo with her team, letting her smile vanish the moment she turns away from Gigi Hadid, or snapping a quick selfie with a fan only to immediately push past and exit. Her entitled behavior has drawn criticism on multiple high-profile occasions. At the Met Gala, she pushed a security guard aside and mocked Addison Rae's carpet poses, laughing with Hailey Bieber as they mimicked her every move. Perhaps her most extreme episode occurred on the road when paparazzi caught her leaving her home. Kendall allegedly tailgated a photographer through a residential area, honking relentlessly. even when the photographer pulled over to let her pass, she refused, continuing to honk and follow the car in front of her, showing a level of aggression that went far beyond mere frustration. So how did Kendall become this way? Perhaps it's the result of a life handed to her on a silver platter. When opportunities arrive before you've even worked for them, it's easy to develop the sense that the world owes you. And for Kendall, that belief didn't emerge overnight. It was instilled early, shaping the behavior and entitled attitude she carries into every room she enters. Kendall Jenner's modeling journey began in 2009, when she was just 14. In an interview with Andy Cohen, she described her fascination with photography as the spark that led her into modeling, even calling it destiny when friends captured candid shots of her. Her big break, however, came almost instantly. Kendall handed her mother, Kris Jenner, a photo album filled with amateur modeling shots. A few calls later, and she landed her very first campaign, Forever 21's Rocker Babes with a Twist. From there, success snowballed. A magazine cover, a runway debut for Marc Jacobs at New York Fashion Week, and before long, she ascended to the top of the modeling world as the highest-paid supermodel on the planet. The speed of her rise was breathtaking, almost suspiciously so. Fans couldn't help but notice how quickly she jumped from a teen campaign to earning millions annually. Amid swirling accusations of nepotism, Kendall insisted she had built her career on her own merit. She even claimed to Andy Cohen that she had removed her family name from her comp cards, presenting herself as a self-made model, despite the undeniable advantages of her background. Kris Jenner has never exactly hidden her role in Kendall's meteoric rise. At the Daily Front Row Fashion Awards, she openly thanked photographer Russell James, saying, "You've really changed my daughter's life. Thank you for helping me make her dream come true." It wasn't a story of a young girl clawing her way toward success. It was a dream handed over on a silver platter. Kendall's carefully crafted image of a determined, hardworking newcomer crumbles the moment you examine the reality of her life. Even when her family went out of their way to help, Kendall often seemed uninterested in putting in the effort herself. In one episode, Kim Jenner hires a professional runway coach to teach Kendall how to walk the catwalk. But halfway through the lesson, Kendall checks out entirely, shrugging, storming off, and complaining that she's bored and wants to go home. The scene speaks volumes. Opportunity was abundant, but commitment was optional. It was this unusual blend of nepotism and casual indifference that landed Kendall in hot water with the fashion world. In an interview with Love magazine, she remarked, "Since the beginning, we've been super selective about what shows I would do. I was never one of those girls who would do like 30 shows a season or whatever those girls do." While Kendall intended this to sound exclusive, to industry insiders it came off as entitled and out of touch. She was openly bragging about having the luxury to decline work, while countless models grind tirelessly just to survive. For her, modeling often felt more like cosplay than a serious career. Her dismissive attitude, paired with reports that she nearly broke down mentally after 14 shows in 2017, sparked immediate backlash. Kendall didn't just inherit a career. She inherited a detachment most models could never afford. Even when she does accept assignments, she's known for taking them lightly. According to People magazine, insiders say Kendall often decides which runway shows to participate in at the last minute based on her mood and the paycheck offered. This carefree approach was on full display when she posted a strange Instagram video of herself shaving her legs in the back seat of a car, en route to walk the runway at New York Fashion Week. The clip perfectly captured the combination of privilege and nonchalance that defines much of her career. By this stage, Kendall Jenner was reportedly earning $40 million a year from modeling, yet she treated the work with striking nonchalance. For most models, Fashion Week is the pinnacle of their careers, a moment to shine. For Kendall, it was just another day she couldn't be bothered to get ready on time. Ironically, the few projects she does engage with often backfire. Take her 2017 Pepsi commercial, for instance. Released amid the height of the Black Lives Matter movement, the ad depicted Kendall seemingly saving the day by offering a police officer a can of Pepsi. The backlash was swift, with critics accusing the campaign of trivializing police brutality. Pepsi eventually pulled the ad and issued a public apology. Similarly, her controversial Vogue photoshoot, where Kendall donned an afro, sparked accusations of cultural appropriation, forcing the magazine to apologize and remove the images. This pattern of missteps extended beyond fashion. When launching her tequila brand, 818 Tequila, Kendall starred in a promo riding through sun-drenched agave fields while Mexican farmers worked behind her. Fans criticized the campaign as an insensitive display, calling it migrant worker cosplay, highlighting the contrast between her privileged image and the labor-intensive reality of producing the product. As a result, her reputation among fans and critics alike became increasingly strained. Even when she teased philanthropic efforts aimed at helping young people, audiences remained skeptical. In a vague cinematic teaser, Kendall made broad promises. "I can speak to so many people. I can help you. I've experienced it. I'm very normal. I understand you." Yet for many, the words felt hollow and stacked against the history of entitlement and controversy that had defined much of her public persona. Kris Jenner added fuel to the spectacle, tweeting, "I'm so proud of my darling for being so brave and vulnerable, seeing you share your most raw story in order to make a positive impact for so many people." Speculation ran wild. Fans expected Kendall to finally open up about cosmetic procedures, body image struggles, or personal challenges. Instead, the reveal was an ad for Proactive diet. Kendall claimed that using Proactive cleared her acne and encouraged young people to try it too. Yet, the story didn't quite line up. Years prior, she had publicly credited her dermatologist, Dr. Christy Kidd, for her clear skin, not Proactive. The entire buildup, the emotional framing, and the promises of connection were all for a product she hadn't actually relied on. What could have been a genuine, empowering moment instead became a transparent cash grab disguised as inspiration. Kendall Jenner's career is often presented as proof that talent and hard work pay off, but strip away the polished PR and it becomes a story about access and privilege. This is the tale of someone born into power, handed opportunities most people spend their lives chasing. She didn't fight for her place in fashion, didn't grind her way to the top. She walked in, skipped the lines, and acted as if the industry owed her a favor. In the process, she's left a trail of bad press, awkward apologies, and accounts from people who claim she treats them as if they don't matter. Perhaps the ultimate lesson here is clear. When you're shielded by money, fame, and a powerful family name, you don't necessarily need skill or dedication. You just need to be present.